throughout the story, there are people who are wrongly accused in the town, and Richard's one of the main burghers of the town, a bank cashier, I guess, has the opportunity to present evidence which would have exonerated this guy Burgess, the minister. And because he didn't want the town to think ill of him, he did not actually go forward and say, hey, I have some facts about this guy you guys should know about. He didn't want to appear to be on his side when he was out of favor. Right. And this force of public opinion, the conforming force of public opinion, is, in addition to their vanity and their pride, one of the sins that's already sitting there in the town.
The story really powerfully shows how public opinion and reputation, I mean, is in a way a dominant consideration in the minds of absolutely everybody in the story. Twain really does a job on this without seeing that, you know, it's not simply terrible to care about your reputation. You wouldn't want to live amongst people in which nobody cared what anybody else thought of them. But in this story, and as we know from experience, public opinion can be tyrannical, and it can get in the way of people doing the honorable thing.
And while I think this story is very bad sociology, I think it's pretty good psychology. Tocqueville thought this was a particular American problem. Adam Smith may have disagreed. Do you think Tocqueville's right about this, and this story is an example of an American trait, or is it a universal trait about public opinion?
Under democratic times, where we don't think anybody else has more purchase on the truth of things than we do, and yet we can't really sort out everything for ourselves, we tend to give much more weight to the opinion of the majority. And that's both good and bad. I mean, there is the danger of the tyranny of the majority. It wreaks havoc on unconventional opinion, which is sometimes better than that of the multitude. It makes it difficult for the nonconformists, for artists, among others. On the other hand, to say again, public opinion is where mores exist and are taught, and it's not unimportant for civil peace that we don't violate those opinions, and very often those opinions carry in a way the moral teachings, the norms, and the standards of the community. So you don't want to teach your children. You know, your mother will say, if everybody jumps off the roof, are you going to jump too?
Right.
When they say, well, everybody else is doing it. On the other hand, you also don't want to teach them to have contempt for the opinions of the people that they have to live with. That's a kind of moderate position. It's difficult probably to negotiate.
Right.
That's very important. You don't want to teach people to live in the opinions of others. Right. On the other hand, you don't want them to ignore the opinions of others.